Hello and welcome to the third episode of our school podcast. Our names are Flora, Julia, Mia, Luisa, and I am Caro, and we are students of the 7B class. In this episode, we are going to tell you more about what has been going on at our school. We will give you an input on climate change, and in the end, we will brighten up your day with a little surprise part. So lean back, grab a cup of tea or coffee, and enjoy this episode of our podcast. Have fun! The first topic I'd like to talk about is the Heart Pillow project. Maybe you've already heard about it. If you haven't, you can take a look at our school profile on Instagram. Our name is WG Wels. In Textilen Werken, the students sewed pillows in the shape of a heart to spread awareness to breast cancer. These pillows are not only to raise awareness, they also got a practical use. After the operation, they are able to support the patients and help them lie down without being in pain. 150 pieces got crafted by our students, and during this sustainable project, personal words and get well wishes were once again addressed by the kids to the people in the hospital. The second topic I'd like to talk about is the map. I think you've all heard about it, and for those who didn't, the map simulates a session in the EU Parliament where different political topics are being discussed. Students from every state of Austria and Germany met up online to discuss and also find solutions to various problems. One topic which got talked about would be the question of reducing gender bias and modernizing the workspace. Professionals for science, technology, engineering and mathematics, short STEAM, are in great demand. The number of men working in traditionally male-dominated fields like STEAM still greatly surpasses the number of women. As these scientific fields become increasingly more important with regards to digitalization, development and healthcare. Another point would be the public health and the question of rising rates of mental illness, especially among digital natives. The COVID-19 pandemic has taken a toll on people's mental health. Rates of mental illnesses such as depression and anxiety are at an all-time high, which is not only due to the COVID-19 pandemic, lockdowns and social isolation, but also due to people's fast-paced and often overwhelming lifestyles and social media. Then questions got asked like, how should the EU address the mental health crisis partially caused by the COVID pandemic, or what steps should the EU take? A different but also very important point was the question of online radicalization. Aiming at increasing engagement and interactions, recommender algorithms on social media platforms such as YouTube are pushing users towards increasingly radical content and unliteral sources of misinformation or information. As a result, conspiracy theories and fake news have increased in popularity. Now I may ask Mia and Luisa to talk about the topic of climate change.
Thank you, Caro. We now want to dive a little deeper into the current and problematic topic of global warming by discussing what makes us doubt climate change in the first place, even though it could not be more obvious these days, and why we find it so hard to take action. Incredibly hot summers, melting polar ice, extinct animals. Climate change could not be more prevalent, but still, some people doubt the fact that it exists after all. But how is it even possible not to be aware of an issue that will soon have an influence on every single part of our lives and will eventually drastically change it? One answer might be that as long as global warming has been existing, people have been busy hiding the facts from society and sugarcoating the problematic situation. Recent research has shown that oil companies already knew about the threat of climate change decades ago. Yet, over 40 years later, it has been revealed that they contributed millions of dollars to think tanks and campaigns to spread doubt and misinformation about climate change, its existence, the extent of this problem, and its cause. So, they simply camouflaged one of the most serious topics of our present times, leaving society in complete ignorance. Additionally, a lot of people don't even recognize the repercussions climate change creates, either because they are fully used to them by now, or because they are not occurring and showing any effects yet. This is very problematic since research shows that constant threats of impending doom make us hit the snooze button rather than waking us up, meaning that it is a common habit of us humans to only start taking action when we actually see and experience the issue that needs to be dealt with. Hence, a considerable amount of people also doesn't see the global crisis as their problem. They rather want the heads of government to precisely outline the situation for them. And if they don't tell us that anything is wrong with our planet, why should we then start taking action and try to prevent the globe from long-term consequences we probably won't even experience ourselves anymore? Also, most of the information provided about the issue of climate change only consists of complex terms, making it hard for people to understand what is actually going on with our planet and why scientists and other experts are being so worried. To clarify, many people don't know what to do when they are told that they have to minimize their carbon footprint and reduce their carbon dioxide emissions. So, why do we find it so hard to take action, Luisa?
Climate change is a global problem. Not even the wealthiest and economically most powerful countries seem to be able to take beneficial measures to save our dying world. And we, students on a mediocre budget with no resources at all, are supposed to take action? How? This is a question loads of young people ask themselves as they watch a world slowly falling apart. Politicians bombard us with alternations we apparently must make in our daily life in order to put a stop to climate change. They often tell us to restrict our meat consumption as its production requires a lot of valuable water our world doesn't have enough of. Moreover, we should try to only buy our groceries locally because their transport from other continents emits a lot of CO2, and we should try to replace our cars by using public transport. There are many, many more suggested ways to adapt our lifestyle to a more environmentally friendly version. However, people often find it hard to see the point in doing any of them. As a result, people often get discouraged because they think it won't make any difference if they make these small changes in their daily routine. However, what they fail to see is the bigger picture that all these politicians and environmentalists have in mind. So let me paint you that picture. Of course, it doesn't make a huge difference if one person alone modifies their life to a more environmentally friendly version. However, if 1,000 people do so, a small town could be more sustainable. The next town gets inspired, and suddenly there are no longer 1,000 people looking out for our environment, but 10,000. This cycle continues until a whole country is optimizing its climate status, automatically enhancing their living conditions. Yet again, other countries get inspired to follow their lead, and then we're looking at a whole continent who takes big steps towards saving our planet and living sustainably. In the end, the whole world is looking out for our planet by living a more sustainable lifestyle, and it all started with one person making small changes in their daily life because they wanted to stop climate change. So what are you waiting for? Let's save our planet together. Now, I may ask Flora and Julia to present our surprise topic.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and you still don't know what to do because you are alone and you don't have a partner? We have the perfect idea. Everyone is happy about roses or any other flowers. Give your best friend a little present and look for the most beautiful flowers and a small chocolate. But to make Valentine's Day special, you could also go with your best friend for a weekend somewhere to relax a bit. Maybe in a spa. So that they have something in their hand on Valentine's Day. You could give him or her a self-made card. You cannot say you're too uncreative and can't think of anything. There are a lot of ideas on apps like Pinterest, etc. But if you don't feel like having someone on that day, you can make it nice alone. Take a warm bath, put a bath ball in it, or for the women, you can also make a face mask. Self-care is clearly in the foreground here.
Spend time with the favorites. You don't need a friend just to be happy on Valentine's Day. Grab a bottle of wine and go to your best friend. Another way to stay away from all the hustle and bustle. Go out to a party or throw a party at home among friends. You don't need a boyfriend or girlfriend to be happy on Valentine's Day. In my opinion, this whole is just so overloaded. At this special day, all couples are super lovely and the women get flowers. But why actually on this day? I mean, the year has 356 days. Why just on this special day? I think women should get or men should get everyday flowers. In my opinion, you don't have to have a partner to celebrate Valentine's Day. You should spend the way it's the best for you. With friends and a party or alone on the sofa with a cuddly blanket and your dog. For some, this is an important day, and for others, it's like a day like another. How do you design your Valentine's Day? We hope you liked today's edition of our podcast. Like to switch on again next time, so as not to miss the latest gossip. Bye!